15 on 15 starts right now. Thank you for joining us. I'm Yanta Liu. Aruba is currently caught in the middle of a legal battle between the United States and Venezuela. This is certainly not an ideal position for the island to be in. The Kingdom of the Netherlands has a treaty with the United States. The U.S. is utilizing this treaty, requesting for a person of interest who is on the island to be extradited to the U.S. After the Aruban authorities detained Hugo Carvajal Barrios, the Venezuelan government contacted Aruba's Minister of Justice, demanding for him to be released. They claim Mr. Barrios has diplomatic immunity. Hugo Carvajal Barrios is currently detained in Santa Cruz at this temporary solitary confinement. Arthur Dowers, the Minister of Justice, explains the current situation at hand.
We have detained a gentleman, and that now, as we have been informed, is a Venezuelan citizen, and what has been stated by the Venezuelan government is that he has a diplomatic immunity, and in that case it will be illegal to detain him. We have done a profound investigation in this case, and have been in communication with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Dutch Kingdom, and we were informed that he has no diplomatic status, and in this case the Justice Department do not have to take this into consideration.
According to Minister Dowers, Hugo does not seem to attain diplomatic status on the island. Therefore, the legal proceedings from here on out does not need to take his status into consideration. The Venezuelan government is not content with this news.
We have informed the Venezuelan authorities because they were not amused after the detention of this gentleman. We have informed them extensively of our justice system, how it functions, and we also informed the Venezuelan government that we have no legal authority as ministers to intervene in a legal procedure.
Aruba hopes to sustain the relationship they have with Venezuela because it is a good one. Authorities of the island have explained to the Venezuelan government that we must follow legal proceedings.
Undersecretary of Foreign Affairs of the Venezuelan government informed us that the Venezuelan president was disappointed based on what's happened, and that they were threatening with specific sanctions towards Aruba, and that may extend to the other islands and the Dutch Kingdom. We informed them that we consider the importance of the relationship that we have with the Venezuelan government, and that we would like to maintain this relationship the way it is. At the other end, we have as a part of the international legal community, we have an obligation to withhold the legal system and to comply with the treaties that we are part of. And in this case, we will not be able to accept or go into the petition that they have presented.
The Minister of Justice has requested for the case to follow in a speedy development. Minister Dowers says they asked the Venezuelan government to recognize that Aruba has a legal obligation to uphold in regards to the kingdom's treaty with the United States. And moving forward, late Thursday night, Venezuelan delegates met with Hugo Barrios' attorney, Chris Lejoy.
The Council of Venezuela has been arrested in Aruba yesterday because of a petition, a request from the United States to arrest him professionally, temporarily, until they have submitted a formal request for his extradition. It's a request not yet for the extradition, but only to arrest him until they can supply us with, or at least supply Aruba with a request for his extradition. Then he will have to see the 3 judges in Aruba, the court of the Supreme Court, and they will have to decide whether or not they will recommend the governor to extradite or not to extradite.
Chris Lejoy says, judging from his expertise, his client is right. Hugo has diplomatic immunity.
In my opinion, based on treaties that we have, that we know that Aruba is bound by, in my opinion, he should be considered as a person who has diplomatic immunity and should not be arrested in Aruba.
The Venezuelan government has placed warnings and threats to Aruba. If Aruban authorities refuse to carry out the orders demanded by the president of Venezuela, the island will suffer the consequences.
They gave a press release today, and in that press release they mentioned that the consequences for Aruba can be very severe economically, financially, politically, and also energetically, which would mean when it comes what that would boil down to would mean the oil that they supply to Aruba.
On Friday, it was announced by the Venezuelan government that all private planes from Venezuela are prohibited from coming to Aruba. We will keep informing you as the story develops.